If one brand stands out above the rest in terms of aura, image, and fan community, it's the one we'll discuss today. Recently, Ferrari placed third in the Formula One Constructors' Championship. A rare event recently captivated the entire enthusiast community. The Maranello brand unveiled this year its new flagship model, which now sits at the top of its range, the Ferrari F80. A significant occasion for Ferrari, which is quite rare since the last presentation of a new model supposed to represent the top of the automotive food chain. The Ferrari LaFerrari, unveiled in 2013, left a significant mark and prestige on the automotive landscape 11 years ago. So, the arrival of a new hypercar at Ferrari? When you love cars, you can only rejoice. This new model from the legendary Italian manufacturer is a historic addition, serving as the range's flagship. Above all, it signals to other manufacturers who recently unveiled impressive hypercars meant to rival the Cheval Cabré brand. Ferrari had no trouble selling all 799 units of this model, as they have already been sold out. However, this new FF has not been unanimously approved. If we analyze the reactions following the unveiling of Maranello's latest rocket, we quickly realize that the F80 deviates a bit from the brand's codes, and that's why it's criticized. While some already miss the LaFerrari, others are downright nostalgic for the era of Ferraris designed by Pininfarina, or find that this new F80 is too ordinary. I read that it looks like a Corvette, which may be an exaggeration. Even though this car is reserved for an elite and has already found all its customers, we're going to discuss it. I often remind you on this channel that passion is in no way a matter of means. Even if we're not among the 799 chosen, we can still analyze its design to understand what makes this new Ferrari a success or failure. That's the Ferrari of the Ferrari, and it's because of her that the new F80 is in a particularly delicate position. Replacing such an iconic car is never an easy task, especially when it comes to Ferrari, a brand where each model becomes a symbol of what is best in terms of innovation, performance, and above all, timeless beauty. For Ferrari, creating a sequel to the Enzo with the LaFerrari was already a huge challenge. In truth, how do you replace a model that literally carries the name of the brand's creator? The 2013 LaFerrari faced a daunting challenge yet rose to the occasion, marking a pivotal moment in the brand's history. Thanks to a completely new hybrid V12 engine architecture with 950 horsepower, but also thanks to its cutting-edge tech and breathtaking design. It has shaken up the codes of the Enzo with its curvaceous silhouette and bold lines. A true masterpiece that nearly resembles a wind-carved sculpture, captivating enthusiasts and Typhoses worldwide. The LaFerrari was a diabolical engine in a silhouette of finesse, a formidable machine and work of art. The car represented the pinnacle of Ferrari's expertise and the core of the brand, showcasing to the world its unrivaled ability to combine raw power with efficient performance, while preserving the unique magic that gives life to these exceptional cars, which bear the prancing horse emblem. At the time, this icon held a central place within the Holy Trinity. Hypercars alongside the Porsche 918 Spider and the McLaren P1. These three cars, launched between 2013 and 2015, represented the elite of the hybrid supercars of the decade. Each had its own approach and philosophy, but the LaFerrari was the most accomplished of the three at the time in terms of driving experience. What is the DNA of Ferrari? Precisely, with its sleek design and raw power that makes no compromises. While the McLaren P1 was the most extreme model, with a hyper-innovative style which has a rocket across the entire McLaren range. The Porsche 918 stood out for its versatility, offering an accessible experience without compromising its track capabilities. The Holy Trinity isn't the focus of this video. Let me know in the comments if you want a dedicated episode on it. The F80 primarily descends from a lineage beyond the LaFerrari and all it represented. A dynasty of iconic Ferraris which have each time been the ultimate of what is best in automotive design for each era. It begins with the legendary F40, launched in 1987 to celebrate 40 years. The Ferrari was a radical model, prioritizing maximum performance over refinement compared to other Ferraris of the era. Its functional design focused on aerodynamics and lightening, and its simplicity made it timeless. The F40's iconic status was cemented by a legendary pencil stroke. It was made by the famous Italian design studio Pininfarina, which has always been very close to Ferrari, under the direction of Leonardo Fioravanti, a designer who worked with Giambattista Pininfarina and was responsible for designing several famous Ferraris like the Dino, 365 Daytona, 308 Mondiale, Testarossa, 288 Gran Turismo Omologato, and the Alfa Romeo 33/2 concept, among others. The F50 successor to the F40 has a distinct character. Like the F40, it was designed by Pininfarina under the artistic direction of Japanese designer Ken Okuyama. The F50, when released, was a tribute to the F40, but with more Formula One technology. It was essentially the first road-going F1 car. It has a more refined, poetic design than the F40, with softer lines and added roundness. Okiyama wanted to emphasize the combination of raw performance and a certain elegance while preserving the radical spirit of Ferrari. The Enzo, launched in 2002, marked a design turning point by combining Formula One performance with an ultra-modern and bolder silhouette, especially with its front face and very vertical snout. The car was designed by Pininfarina, led by American designer Frank Stevenson, known for the Ford Escort Rally Sport, BMW X5 and Maserati MC12. When entrusted with the ultimate Ferrari project, he decided to give it the Alfa Romeo 8C and McLaren P1 characteristics. The Enzo's angular lines created an aggressive, aerodynamic silhouette that was ahead of its time. It made significant technological advancements in materials and onboard technologies. And to replace it, nothing else was needed than the one we talked about earlier. The LaFerrari, which, as its name suggests, was to be the ultimate Ferrari, above the Enzo, the car of all superlatives. One of the elements that attracted criticism around the new F80 is its engine. The lineage of iconic Ferraris meant to celebrate the brand's anniversary decades. Since then, the F40 have always been equipped with big V8 turbo or the famous VT12, atmospheric full of nobility. And even if it was helped by hybridization on the LaFerrari, its noble engines were essential to mark the superiority of its machines. But this time it's different. The new F80 is equipped with a 3-liter 6.6 twin-turbo, which is similar to that of the small 296 GTB, but aided by 2 electric motors powering the turbos, 2 on the front wheels, and a 5th on the rear axle. The result is 1,200 horsepower and 0-100 acceleration in just 2.15 seconds. In terms of performance, we are undoubtedly there. However, there is no fully electric driving mode. Ferrari indicated that it would be contrary to the car's mission, and the electric motors are therefore there, simply to help. The 6.6, 3 liters of 900 horses, adding 300 horses to increase the power to 1,200. Although we all love the V12, we'll discuss it later in the video. Switching to this new engine is quite normal. This model showcases Ferrari's peak performance, leveraging their expertise from various racing competitions. The Ferrari 499P, which has won the 24 Hours of Le Mans twice, including the 2023 Centenary Edition, is powered by this exact engine architecture. 50 years after Ferrari's last victory in this event in the premier category Formula One, which is the pinnacle of auto racing. For more than 10 years, we have also been using hybrid 6.6s, which have the advantage of being much lighter than a traditional atmospheric 612 that equipped the F50s or the Enzos. Let's discuss Formula One, as Scuderia's extensive experience in this field is truly showcased in our F80, featuring an unprecedented aerodynamic design. It begins with the front face and its pointed nose, which contains the S-duct, an opening found on Formula One cars, which directs the air in an S shape and helps to keep the car grounded to ensure incredible stability. The car's underbody is highly engineered, similar to a Formula One car, directing airflow towards the diffuser. Super impressive with a huge wing above. Seeing this made me think it's a shame. The wing is crucial for car stability at high speeds, but in this case, it's poorly integrated. I'd say the one on the F50 was more in harmony with the car. Here we have this board that deploys in a less sophisticated way than the wing of the McLaren W1, for example. And above all, it causes a break in the general line. Unlike the deployable wing of the LaFerrari, which was superbly integrated and almost invisible in everyday use, it's a perfect example to show how much this Ferrari's philosophy differs from past models. The brand's spec sheet is so powerful that the only way to improve further is by showcasing the extensive aerodynamic design integration in the car. Compared to the LaFerrari's fluid design, this results in a more angular look, which is striking from a top view. The 2 wheels are connected by a nearly straight line, differing from the LaFerrari's curved design that separated and accentuated the wheels. The engine hood is also striking, with a simplicity that would make it almost banal compared to its predecessor's sculptural design. The F80 requires 7 radiators to cool its electric motors, necessitating the creation of openings for air circulation. And there too, Ferrari has decided to hide nothing. With rather crude air intakes, around which we do not find the fluidity and sensuality that always shone through in the design of their different models in recent years. The new model abandons the distinctive round rear lights and tapered front headlights of the previous version, to go to something really minimal, as if we were forgetting art in favor of technique. With a light signature, simple, almost simplistic, where the shape follows only the function without really adding personality. We also have a large black band that conceals the headlights, reminiscent of what we found on the new Dojicci Cilindri. Thankfully, it connects the Ferrari models. Otherwise, this F80 could have been mistaken for another brand due to its generic appearance. A bit like McLaren, which went from this on the P1 to this on its new W1. As I mentioned in my video about the end of the Ferrari and Pininfarina partnership, The brand's shift towards internal design work, moving away from its renowned studio, indicates a growing focus on rational design over emotional appeal. Following the F40 and F50, the unofficial code names for the Enzo and LaFerrari are F60 and F70. And that's what logically gives the number F80 for the new model of the prancing horse. If we chose to return to this codename rather than find it a unique identifier, like the two preceding models, it's to mark a return to the roots and an inspiration taken from a model with which the lineage is obvious. The Ferrari F40 discussed at the start of the video. The design of the Ferrari F40 at its launch represented the most brutal vision possible of a race car, adapted for the road and progressed a big step forward in terms of style compared to what Ferrari was doing in the 80s. A no-compromise supercar, raw and almost purely functional, designed to deliver exceptional performance in a relatively simple package. The F80's design was inspired by the revolutionary angular style and turbo engine of its time. To return to the core of this concept and create a remarkable sculpture that the competition elements would complement. We make a competition car that can drive on open road, and we put a design on top of it without pushing as far as before, style and performance in harmony. For this most powerful road Ferrari ever created. The F40's style is echoed in small details, such as the vertical air outlet behind the front wheel and the engine hood inlets reminiscent of the F40's plexiglass. We quickly realized that everything is focused on the driving experience. I also appreciated the interior's nod to the two-tone color scheme. The seats emphasize the driver's role and the car's near single-seater driving style. As for the 6.6 engine, which we also talked about earlier in the video, again it's normal that it's there, since if we want to make the most powerful Ferrari, it's a logical choice. As an enthusiast, some may regret it, but luckily the Maranello manufacturer had foreseen everything. The brand is splitting its range into two main themes to cater to different customer types. Statistics, numbers, and pure performance seekers can opt for these highly refined cars, where Ferrari's iconic sensual design takes a back seat. And those who are there for the Italian way of life, for that extra soul that has always defined the brand, and for noble engines like the 612, they can enjoy what Ferrari has begun to establish with the Icona series. With stunning models like the SP1 SP2 and the recent Daytona SP3, which feature a curvaceous, expressive, and emotive design. Rather than a perfect blend of art and engineering in every car, we have different paths based on individual preferences. In all instances, Ferraris are remarkable vehicles that push the boundaries of automotive excellence and bring honor to the industry. I'm curious to hear your opinion on what you personally prefer between the Icona models or the more technical models of the brand. So give me your opinion in the comments. I will read everything with pleasure, as usual. Thank you all for watching this video. I'm putting a playlist where you can find all my model analyses right here.